we're getting on to my topic now, and I know this is something Meta's been dying to talk about. So, I think it's about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, we had D23 in Japan. I think it was the Japan one, right? I think there's like an American D23 and a Japanese one. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. I didn't fact check. I'm awful. But anyways, many people were hoping, speculating, wishing that we would get some more Kingdom Hearts 3 news. And the god himself, Tetsuya Nomura, blessed us. He shone down from his silver belt buckle and zippers, and he opened up the heavens, unzipped them, and boom, we got a new trailer.
Oh my god.
So,
I am so ready.
Yeah, I think we all are. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 12 years ago. So, we are confirmed. I think it was leaked, but we finally get confirmation that we're having a Monsters, Inc. world.
Yes.
Got to see some more story stuff. Marluxia's back somehow.
Monster Inc. Goofy top memes.
Yeah, more Toy Story stuff we got to see.
Tangled.
Yeah, some more Tangled stuff. I think the most telling stuff that we got to see was if you're like you care all about like how the games play. I think you got a lot more out of what we saw from, or at least more of it, because I mean we've seen gameplay footage before. So yeah. I mean, there's not really enough for me to sit here and tell you about the 5 minutes of trailer that was there and the story that's apparently just even more not going to make sense. But I more wanted to talk about.
I'm so ready for this game not to make any sense.
Yeah. I'm more going to talk about.
I'm literally waiting for just Metal Gear to come out. That's I want it to happen.
It's worse than Metal Gear. We have time travel now, Meta. But
no, why?
Thank you, Dream Drop Distance. But anyways, so yeah, there's not really enough to talk about like the trailer itself per se. I more want to like gauge how hyped you are for you guys, how hyped you guys are for the game. What you think maybe about like the gameplay or where the story might be heading. I know Tets hasn't played all of them.
On a scale of 1 to 10, my hype is a 2.
I knew yours would be. You're not a JRPG boy.
Mine's
like
10,
me now.
12.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm interested, to be honest, I am interested, but it's kind of one of those, like, I'll catch up with everything else first before I get to it.
Yeah.
And so I have enough of a backlog of Kingdom Hearts where, you know, it's been how many years did you say it's been? I wouldn't know
Since
because I
2012.
haven't finished the first one. So
Since the first
just
one,
beat
like
the first
16.
one last night.
The first one's like, or there was an actual good story.
Yes.
Now I'm in Chain of Memories, and I do not like the combat.
Yeah, it's not great.
Set it to easy. Just gotta get through it.
Pretty much. Imagine playing it on the Game Boy Advance, Mal, like I did back in the day.
yeah.
Ooh, that was fun. I remember that. I played that.
It felt a lot better on Game Boy Advance, weirdly enough.
I think our standards were just not as high.
Yeah.
Maybe
Go back
if
and
I
play it
went
now.
back and played it now.
That game, I hated that game for the fact that it really just felt like a rehash. It really was.
Basically.
And I hated that.
Weirdly, they set it up so that it didn't have to be a part of lore at all, and they were like, "No, we got you. We can make it work."
We can work this in somehow.
All right, so some of the stuff.
I'm at a.
Oh, go ahead,
I'm
man.
at a-
Sorry.
I'm at a 5 for hype, I guess. I
5
don't
out
know.
of what? 10?
5 out of a billion, I guess.
Okay.
I don't like. I don't play a lot of the side games. The games are still fun. Like when we played 2.8, that was fun. That was like probably the newest thing that they've done with
Which I have not gotten to yet.
It's fun. It's nice. It's very clearly like a portion of a full game, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, it's basically like a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. It looks like they're taking parts of the system. The one thing that I really did actually like from I think it's Birth by Sleep is the one with like the other 3.
Yes, that's Birth by Sleep.
I did like. It looks like they're taking something from that system, and they've already seemed to have auto implemented it in 2.8. But it's where you get the other abilities that you can activate in the middle of a fight and change.
Yeah, the command styles or whatever they're called.
Yes. I did enjoy that. I'm not sure how much I'm going to enjoy them for 3 though.
Those were my thoughts exactly.
The other thing I have a problem with that's got me kind of teetering towards, like, there is a lot of other content out there that you need to know about or understand to even enjoy this game to its fullest extent, and it requires a pretty big fucking dive into it. Now,
I do wonder if they've gone to try and like make it accessible in any way.
That's what I'm also kind of wondering about.
Because I have seen people like be like, maybe I'll try this one.
Yes.
They're not gonna have any clue what the fuck is going on.
They're gonna go into this game and like, what the fuck is going on?
I've played all the games and I have no clue what's going on.
I mean, yeah,
Like, I would agree with you, Meta. Like, that's partially where it gets a lot of the hype docking for me. Is like, I feel like there's so much, and I don't know, maybe I'm just picking up from y'all, but I feel like there's so much there that until I'm already invested, and then I can have the hype. If that makes sense.
All you gotta do is watch a 20-minute Kingdom Hearts lore video or something.
I think there's gonna be like 2 layers of story going on, probably.
there's probably going to be
Like the story of the game, and then like all of the like implications for the larger universe, probably.
Here's what I like that I'm kind of inferring from this new trailer and some of the other ones. It looks like we're going back to the Kingdom Hearts 1-ish era of storytelling in the Disney worlds. That Sora and gang just show up, and the plot kind of revolves around them and the big plot at hand. Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, it was all about the Disney villains find out there's a Keyblade. It can help us get to the darkness and get Kingdom Hearts, and then we can do whatever we want, blah, blah, blah. And Kingdom Hearts 2 was Sora just lives out the Disney story of whatever movie he was in, basically.
Well, yeah, it
feels like we're getting a lot more about the universe itself and how the Disney worlds fit into it, rather than just replaying Disney movies in the game.
Yeah, I think there's probably just some clause or something about how far they probably can't really do post Disney movie stuff.
Yeah. And the gameplay, like Meta was touching on earlier, they are, it seems, doing some command styles. Like, basically, in the Kingdom Hearts 3, it looks like those are how Sora's Keyblade changes into different stuff. Some of them look fun, like the yo-yo stuff. I just wonder if I can not do them sometimes. Yeah, because in Birth by Sleep, you got no choice. You had to go into them.
That was the thing I was a little bit worried about. It seems like you don't have to do them if it goes off of 2.8. I can't remember 2.8. I played it I think nearly a year ago's time, actually. But 2.8, you didn't have to go into them, but, I mean, the problem is that technically you really should. It's stronger.
Yeah, they're just better.
It's better. And on one hand, I like that, like, when you upgrade, it feels like an upgrade. On the other hand, I don't...
It feels cheap to me, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like,
Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2, the beauty of that game, like, that's where the story goes off the freaking rails, but the game itself was the best out of any of the games, like, playing it, because the combo system was better. You could do stuff like roll cancel out of attacks and stuff like that, which it looks like you're going to be able to do based off the trailers we've seen. You had all the limit forms were really interesting and cool. The boss fights were at their best. Hit stun was a thing. Like, you had revenge value where the bosses would use desperation moves if you hit them a certain number of times that you had to prepare for. It made the boss fights more interesting and more difficult. You had your magic where it wasn't like Kingdom Hearts 1 where you could just spam it, or like Birth by Sleep where it's the command deck. You just wait for it to refresh like it's an MMO, basically. You could combo out of spells and stuff like that, which you couldn't do in Kingdom Hearts 1. They made that gameplay really interesting and really good and really smooth. And the game was, when you fought like the Lingering Will and some Sephiroth and some of the secret bosses, they were freaking punishing, but it felt good when you learned how to combo them just right and get into your forms and exploit them and use your summons correctly. Oh man, it was so good.
I like to back your point up. You could actually go through the game, and if you rushed it, you could still beat every boss perfectly. In fact, I actually did that on my second playthrough of Kingdom Hearts years after the fact. I put it on proud mode, or whatever the hell hard mode is called in that game.
Yeah.
And I actually did a rush to get to Sephiroth because I wanted to face him around level 30 when he would kick your ass really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think he two shots you if you have like second chance or whatever, and he'll one shot you if you don't. You have to beat him perfectly. Because I saw somebody else do it, and I was like, well, I want to fucking do it too.
Yep.
So I did. I went over there, and those bosses are so well designed, but if you play it perfectly, which you can, which tells you the brilliance of the design of those fights, you can beat them, and their level won't matter. It will just take you a little bit longer because you have to hit them.
Yeah, it's mostly skill. It's mostly evading, hitting them
Isn't
getting the
it
stun
mostly
lock.
just hitting triangle?
No,
Not really. Actually, I'm going to link you
no.
guys the Data Organization speedrun, level 1 critical mode speedrun.
Yeah.
That's like 20 minutes. It's freaking amazing, and shows
There's,
off really well how that's a very well designed game from a gameplay standpoint.
The only time you press triangle, at least versus Sephiroth anyway, is when he's about to do
To block
like,
his Iaijutsu strike, basically.
Yeah, essentially his Iaijutsu strike. Essentially, yes. That's the only time you press triangle versus him. You actually have to equip yourself with a couple abilities. It'll make your life easier, way easier, as opposed to trying to just air dodge all over the place. But you wanted to equip Reflect because his Shadow Flare would help. It would just bounce them all back, and then he would actually get hit by them because he generally warps into one of them because he's trying to reposition himself. You wanted to. You actually wanted to set your combo to a certain level as well. If you chose like Sword, and like I think tossed away one of the other ones, you would actually get more combos faster. You actually wanted to set that value to a lower point because you would actually get his revenge meter up and he would bounce out of your combo. So you wanted to get the combo finisher for the extra damage on it.
Yeah, before he revenge values, and then because they will just like break out of your combo string, and then you just get one-shotted.
Yeah, so there was like things like that. Guarding, you had to be good on guarding. You actually could guard his full Octo/Slash combo on you.
Yep.
As long as you got the first hit guard in. If you didn't, you were just dead. He was just gonna kill you off. But you could do a lot of things. You could also easy mode it a little bit easier if you picked up the shield as your starter, as opposed to the sword or the staff. Because the shield would have given you second chance, and I think the other one that like means that if you get hit and it would kill you, you go to one value. And if like a combo would have killed you, instead you stay at 1 health for the combo.
Mm-hmm.
I chose sword and didn't have those right from the start. So you
my
literally had to
sweet
play
summer child.
Yeah.
No.
But there was like stuff like that. But the fact, like going back to my original point, was like the fact is that the game was really well done. You could perfect bosses with a little bit of luck and understanding and how to beat them, and it was really, really wonderful to do so.
And the pacing of fights were so good in the first two games.
Yeah.
You like Sora was just very fluid. You just transitioned well. You could cancel out of moves and stuff like that. Like you can do reaction commands if you want. They like take up more time and stuff like that, but you didn't have to. You could just literally like combo them, and if you knew the system well enough and all that stuff, you could it could look really impressive. So something that 3's doing, and this is something that concerns me, and I think a lot of people when they watch the trailers, is that combat feels better than it did in Birth by Sleep, where combat is not good at all, in my opinion, really. Because
Birth by Sleep was a step backwards, I feel.
Yeah, because
and I know it's like it was done by a different team.
Yeah,
but,
Osaka team. But
yeah, but it was definitely a step back.
It was, because you had the command deck, which isn't just is not as fluid. Shot locks are busted, and those are back in Kingdom Hearts 3. When you shot lock a boss, you would literally take out like half its HP. You basically brought up like a first person reticle, and you just hold down R1 and keep it over the boss, and it'll do a certain number of hits. That's how many hits you'll just get for free on the boss that you can't be knocked out of. It's really stupid. And enemies would just break out of your combos after like one hit and hit you, and it just wasn't fun, really.
I hate that was the one sin. No combo should ever be able to be just broken out of by enemies. That's just horseshit.
Yep. So Kingdom Hearts 3 looks like we're not going to have to deal with that part, but we are going to have to deal with the slowdown and some of the weird stuff like the Keyblade forms, getting into the robot Shinji and shooting stuff, and like his combos just feel a bit slower and not as fluid or dynamic. There's lots of like I can't think of the fighting game term, but where after you use a move, there's a delay before you can get another input, like active frame, not active frames, but
I know what you're talking
it's
about.
like hit lag or something like that. Like,
it's at the tip of my tongue.
Oh,
it takes a while before you can start up a new move on Sora.
Generally, I just classify that as ending lag to a combo or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the term for it, but the ending lag essentially means that you just can't do anything. You are stuck there from frame like 8 to frame 16.
Exactly.
And you have to deal.
Yep. Whereas in the old games, you could just fluidly run at it because you could roll cancel and stuff like that. Which there is that, but like his finisher moves don't seem to be able to roll cancel out of in this game.
I don't know if I remember the finisher moves really being able to roll cancel out of before, but
they at least felt faster. Like there wasn't as much lag.
You would know better than I would.
Yeah. So that's what concerns me in the story, but that's like a whole topic of its. I could rant forever about how Dream Drop Distances took it even more off the rails, and we got time traveling and like 13 Xehanorts all time traveling, and Zigbar is like already half Xehanort. I don't even know what's going on with the story.
The story's all over.
Eventually, I'll understand about half those terms you use.
Yeah. Just play Kingdom Hearts 2.
Don't kid yourself. I've had Lily explain this to me like 2 or 3 times now, and at this point, I'm fairly certain this is just a guise to reveal Metal Gear Solid 6.
I don't know. To be honest, Metal Gear doesn't feel all that complex to me. Like it is complex, but it doesn't feel it. So I don't know.
I don't know enough about Metal Gear.
I honestly don't know enough about it, but from what I understand, the game, it was less like this narrative of the games themselves aren't all that confusing. It's just that all the information from all the games themselves lead up to a lot of stuff that you don't know, but you find out has happened or
lots of retcons.
Well, and you have to understand which snake you're playing in which game.
Right.
Because which
There are lots of snakes and clones.
Yes, there's nanomachines.
Well, luckily for you, we have like 10 different Soras, 40 different Xehanorts. We got 10 different Rikus.
I still don't know what that word is.
It's I actually think seriously, I think at this point Kingdom Hearts is probably the most complicated story on the market.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even like
game.
The core of the story isn't that complicated. It's just
no, it's not. But everything
there's
surrounding
just a lot going on,
yeah. There's like you have Terra and his own problems. You've got Sora technically not being Sora. He's technically part of somebody else who is now part of him. And there's also another part of that person that's coming after him.
Who looks the same as another person.
Yes. And then you've got like the Keyblade Wars and shit, and then that was all leading to to the nowadays. They're trying to rebuild it.
It's all on a cell phone game.
It's then you got your Pokemans.
Yeah, you got your Pokemon and Dream Drop Distance.
I mean, and then those Pokemans are playing card games and shit, and I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, so
it's not super complicated. You can actually follow. Like I joke about it, but the problem is that there's just a lot going on, and there is a lot of not only of the games that came before, but what leads into now and their connections to now that have made the game far simpler about instead of beating evil dark forces for the light of good, now it's about stopping shadow governments.
Yeah. Evil Xehanort, he wants Kingdom Hearts.
How are the two different?
He wants Kingdom Hearts and the Keyblade that activates the Metal Gear.
I kind of pulled us off track here. I was sorry about that, Obs, but I am kind of hoping that we're just being misled, and it's just because we don't have a controller in our hands for the third one. Because I would really like the fluidity of the game to be upped. I would like more canceling out of things. I would like more freedom on not having to commit and marry the button press that I make.
Yeah.
Against a boss that might be like, it doesn't really matter what you pressed, you're fucked anyway.
Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura wants to put a ring on that finger.
Yes, he does. It's kind of like the evolution for the Devil May Cry games. Each game has gotten better and better about giving you freedom to cancel out of things and to stop moves. And there really is no move that's truly punishing.
Mm-hmm.
You can cancel out everything. I'm kind of hoping Kingdom Hearts takes a like a page from that book and lets you pull out of those things, and it's just because they weren't doing those things either in the preview or the the trailer and whatnot, or because they wanted to show off the stuff as opposed to like showing you all the other janky shit you're going to be doing when you actually play the game. Or that it's not as bad as we think, because when we have the controller in our hands, we'll be like, oh, this isn't as bad. It's just not as bad as we thought.
We just gotta wait, and they're still saying it's going to be out by the end of the year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but
I'll believe it when I'm playing it.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel, Mel. It's how it was with Final Fantasy 15. When I had the game in my hand at GameStop, I was like, it's a thing, it's real, it's here. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. But I'm still excited. It's got Disney. Mal's on board no matter what.
I mean, you can't hate the game series. I mean, it is Disney, so.
Disney and Final Fantasy. What more could I ever ask?
At least it's got that, right?
Literally.
Wait till Noctis is in the game, so him and Riku can stare at each other like it's a mirror.
Oh my god.
Because they look the exact same.
I still
now.
want them to be the little fairies like the X2 girls. That would be funny.
That would be funny. Hey, Riku, my name's Riku. We never got that interaction.